Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. In this case, it's BWTM Sports, and we're doing a series today, or starting a series today called Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz 2, Episode 1. And in the first episode, I'm going to be talking about the trainer, Rob Mcracken. So, Rob Mcracken's been Anthony Joshua's trainer for the longest while. And recent times, he's come under a lot of flack because of the performance Joshua had against Andy Ruiz Jr. Now, if you go back and look at my video in the preview leading up to this fight and the preview leading up to many of Joshua's fights, I have spoken about Joshua's flaws over and over and over again. And, there's one thing to jump on a bandwagon when things are going great. It's another thing to take a critical step back, not get involved with the hype, and actually look at things for what they are, not what the commentators are trying to sell us, or the hype machine is trying to sell us, or the PR machine is trying to sell us. If you've got a great jab, you've got a great jab. If you've got a good left hook, you've got a good left hook. If you've got a good right hand, you've got a good right hand. If you can box, you can box. No amount of PR is going to sell the fact that you don't have a good jab, you can't fight off the back foot, you don't have a great chin, and your stamina is questionable. The PR can't do that. They can spin it as much as they want, but come fight night, the evidence is there for everyone to see. Or maybe not. There are those in the world that believe that this was a mistake. They can't get over the fact that Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, the guy with big muscles, loads of muscles, the big guy, the 6'5" plus guy, got beat by a fat Mexican. They can't get over it. They can't get their heads around it. But they're not giving Ruiz the credit that Ruiz deserves for having good head movement, for having good hand speed, for having good punching power, for having a solid chin, for having good boxing fundamentals, for being able to get on the inside, for being able to do good quality work on the inside, for being able to, when he got knocked down, to get up, compose himself, even though taking another big right hand, and still walk on and walk through and finish Anthony Joshua off, dropping him 4 times in the process. Now, throughout all of this, while Joshua was in trouble, his trainer was in his corner, giving him instructions throughout the fight. Now, if you listen to the instructions, to me, the instructions didn't sound bad. They're certainly quite constructive. What I didn't understand was, from Anthony Joshua's perspective, he didn't know what Ruiz was going to do next. He had no idea of why he was feeling the way that he was. And he was perplexed as to how to overcome the challenges that Ruiz was presenting. And was looking to Rob Mcracken for help. And even when Anthony Joshua was saying, "Why am I feeling like this?" Rob Mcracken blocked that out of his mind and just gave him instructions. Now, I don't know the full extent to what Mcracken can and can't do in a corner. Because if Mcracken had stopped Joshua on his stool when he said that and waved the fight off, that would have been devastating. Not so much for Joshua, but for Mcracken. And he would have been even under more fire than he was at the moment. So he did what he could do, which was give out instructions. Now, speaking to Stacey McKinley, and you can check out that interview I did on BWTM Online, not this channel. Stacey McKinley, the trainer of Mike Tyson for over 10 years, trained Samuel Peter, trained Alexander Povetkin trained Shannon Briggs, currently training Trevor Bryant to fight Manuel Shah for the WBA regular title on August the 1st. He said that in a particular fight, he didn't want to stop the fight because he didn't want to didn't want to have to receive the consequences or the rage from Don King. So what he ensured he did was that he covered all boxes. And what he did, he covered all ground. He made sure he asked the fighter, not once, not twice, but 3 times, do you want me to stop this fight? And then the fight was stopped because he explained if he had gone about stopping the fight by his own wisdom, or this guy's fit to fight, he would have got it in the neck by the promoter. And he didn't want that. So he really had to lead to the fighter. So even if the fighter was completely out on his feet, had no chance of coming back into the fight, it didn't matter. That fighter would have to have got knocked out. So the trainer, in one sense, couldn't save the fighter because they were a high-profile fighter. So there's an example of how Rob McCracken's hands could be tied. There's a few other things as well. Maybe Anthony Joshua just could not do the things that Rob asked him to do. Now, I don't see how Anthony Joshua's progressed from the beginning of his career to now as fighting Andrew Ruiz. I haven't seen the progress personally. I haven't seen a jab progress from his first fight to now. He was susceptible to a left hook way back in his amateur days, and he couldn't fight backing up. If you go back and look at his amateur days, the European Championships, that's an indication or clear indication of where the problems were way back in his amateur career. Go back and look at the fight in the European Championships. The same problems. Couldn't fight backing up, was vulnerable to a left hook. And look at the size of the guy that beat Anthony Joshua in the amateurs to the size of the guy that beat Anthony Joshua first time in the pros. Short, squat, swarming style, getting on the inside, big left hooks, overhand rights, pushing Joshua onto the back foot. And again, Joshua not knowing what to do. So, is Rob Mcracken to blame? Oh, well, he's a trainer, so he should get his fighter into shape. Okay. He's a trainer, he should be able to get Josh into be able to fight tactically the right way. But what if Joshua is unable, despite all the hype and all the praise and all the talk, that he just cannot fight off the back foot and is vulnerable to left hooks and right hands? What if he has no game and cannot fight off the back foot? Could this be the reason why the sparring stories of all the guys that are sparring him are forcing him onto the back foot, not allowing him to take front foot charge, forcing him onto back foot and landing their punches? Is this the reason why? Because if this is the reason why, then Joshua cannot box strategically. But let's be honest, he got dropped by Klitschko, a 42-year-old who had just come off 2 years doing nothing. He fought a Dillian White who wasn't in shape and injured and got caught with a left hook. The same left hook, mind you, that caused him problems against Andy Ruiz. When I did my breakdown to this fight, I said, if Ruiz's team look at Joshua and look at those moments, the White fight, the Povetkin fight, the Klitschko fight, there are moments. They were all moments. And if they took those highlight moments and said, when we get in that position after throwing the left hook and swarm, because he's got faster hands than Klitschko, he's got faster hands than Dillian White, he's better on the inside combination-wise, and he likes to engage, and Joshua is most vulnerable when he opens up. If he opens up, Ruiz is going to open up with him, and Ruiz is going to connect, and he's going to cause Joshua a lot of problems. That's a technical thing. So, is Rob Mcracken to blame? Did Joshua box to the game plan? Did Joshua box to the game plan? Is Joshua able to box to the game plan? Was Joshua too nervous to box to that game plan? Has Joshua got too many media commitments to be able to box to a game plan? Or is this type of opponent Anthony Joshua's kryptonite? Now, it doesn't matter what trainer you've got in the corner. Ultimately, if you cannot execute what the trainer's giving you to do, if you're unable to do it for whatever reason, no matter how many times Frank Bruno fought Mike Tyson was always going to beat Frank Bruno. No matter how many times Tommy Hearns fought Iran Barkley was always going to beat Tommy Hearns. They're just some fighters that just know how to beat you. Certain fight styles and certain fighters, some fighters you're just not going to be able to unlock. It doesn't make a difference. Just the chemistry of some fighters, just the way some styles are. And if you lack certain things, then that makes it, like for Andy Ruiz, you need to first of all have a guy who's got a very strong jab to keep in his face. It's good double jab in a right hand. Joshua was unable to show that. Ruiz was able to use little slip his head from side to side. Another thing I said in the preview, slip your head from side to side, look just an inch, and then walk inside. This is what Ruiz did. So is Robert Mcracken to blame? The answer to that now is that I'm not sure. Maybe Anthony Joshua is just not that good. Because if he cannot box off the back foot and he's still vulnerable to a left hook from the amateur days, then that doesn't bode well against Andy Ruiz. And no amount of Rob Mcracken talking to him is going to change that. Maybe Rob Mcracken and Anthony Joshua have hit their level and that Rob McCracken can't teach Anthony Joshua anymore. And potentially there's an argument that maybe Joshua needs another trainer to come in and it's time to depart from Rob McCracken. But it seems that Rob McCracken is going to stay on board. So Anthony Joshua, being the head guy, believes that McCracken is the way forward. So Joshua believes that McCracken isn't to blame and he's sticking with his trainer. So it's up to you. What do you think? Is Rob McCracken really to blame or not? Thank you for watching.